Although analysts frequently react to the needs of portfolio managers and traders on the buy side and salespeople on the sell side, they are generally considered to be the idea generators for those other roles. Analysts' primary role is to originate trade and investment ideas, both to portfolio managers on the buy side and to salespeople on the sell side, whilst developing skills in analysing the probable risks and returns of those ideas. They are not burdened with duties of formal risk management or client management, but are skilled in specialist aspects of financial market analysis, generally in one asset class, but usually with a broad knowledge of related instruments. A currency analyst, for example, is expected to have a strong grasp of fixed income and commodities due to the mutual relationship between these asset classes. A good analyst is open-minded, but with a deep understanding of clients' investment needs. In a buy-side firm, this will be the portfolio managers in that asset class, or perhaps a more specialized sector such as structured derivatives, as well as the investment committee at a more senior level. Analysts will understand the investment criteria or mandates, including any constraints, so that their research is always relevant. An equity analyst would not, for example, issue recommendations to short an equity if the investment mandate permitted only long-only positions. On the sell side, analysts interact directly with clients, such as at hedge funds, asset managers, corporations, and private banking clients, as well as with internal salespeople. This requires in-depth briefings and presentations, as well as regularly published reports.
A&R Go allows portfolio managers to see the recommendations of sell-side analysts in one place. Imagine you are a portfolio manager thinking about adjusting the amount of Intel stock in your portfolio, but you are not entirely sure whether to buy or sell. Which column can you sort to see the recommendation of the best performing semiconductor industry analyst? Hover over the columns to see definitions. Click the column you would sort. Not quite. Remember, we're looking. The rank column should be sorted to see the best performing semiconductor industry analysts. Now, let's move on to your next task. You were thinking about adjusting the amount of Intel stock in your portfolio, but you are not entirely sure whether to buy or sell. What does the best performing semiconductor industry analyst say? Click Answer when you are ready to answer the question. Correct. Whilst there are other analysts who are better ranked on this stock alone, Mizuho is the winner because your task was to look for the recommendation of the best performing semiconductor industry analyst, not just the stock itself. Click Continue to move on.
Several features are common to both buy and sell side analysts. They seek to identify the consensus view on a market and then explore alternative outlooks. There is little value in research which merely repeats what is already well known or has been heard from others. In addition to pure investment and portfolio recommendations, analysts produce more in-depth research around their asset class. This may include the impact of developing themes such as new instruments or sectors such as cryptocurrencies or SPAC, the impact of regulation, material shifts in volatility, or the market impact from broader industry themes, such as the impact of passive investment on equity trading via ETFs. Perhaps the two most widely known forms of research, however, are investment recommendations on individual equities and on markets considered to be driven by macroeconomics. Equity analysts are typically sell-side, covering individual equities, which can include firms for whom their own company provides other services, such as placements, underwriting, and book running. On the basis of in-depth company and industry knowledge, plus meetings with management, they publish investment recommendations which often gain media attention. Increasingly, however, analysts try to differentiate themselves via data analysis. Primary data, such as economic or official company releases, are readily available to everyone, but other sources of data can be found from the internet and social media. Harvesting, modeling, and then analyzing such data requires more imagination and application. So programming and data management skills are as highly valued as more traditional skills such as interviewing and engaging with the management of companies.
Imagine that you are a buy-side analyst and you want to go deeper into understanding Intel's product mix. The MODL Go page extracts key data from sell-side analyst reports. If you wanted to find out which of Intel's revenue segments is expected to grow fastest from a 2018 baseline and looking forward to 2022, which tab would you look at? Click the tab. From a 2018 baseline and looking forward to 2022, which of Intel's revenue segments is expected to grow fastest? Click Answer when you are ready to answer the question. Correct. When you compare the actual figure for 2018 to the estimated figure for
Despite some misinformed caricatures, analysts have to be outgoing and personally engaging. They depend heavily on building networks of contacts, both internally and externally, to source information and to ensure that they are fully informed of industry developments. Their value to a firm, whether on the buy or the sell side, is enhanced if they can develop consistent and loyal followings, thereby increasing not only their own profile but that of their firm. There is nevertheless a delicate balance for analysts. Although they should always seek to produce stimulating research with fresh insights, and conclusions which challenge the consensus view, they should nevertheless avoid making reckless recommendations. Professional analysts avoid making wild predictions with loud headlines, unless they are supported by vigorous and extensive evidence. Their clients, after all, are generally investors, not gamblers. In a similar vein, good analysts are open-minded and prepared to acknowledge mistakes and poor recommendations in the past. An ability to revisit and critique previous work is a valuable tool in maintaining honesty and in retaining the trust of others. Analysts typically hold strong academic qualifications in fields such as finance, statistics, accounting, economics, and related subjects. Additional professional status such as a CFA or MBA are also commonly expected at some point.